Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Yvonne, and for today's video I'm going to be doing some DIY textured clay vases, so keep on watching. So I've been seeing like videos on like YouTube and like some on Instagram of like people just taking like pretty much like regular vases and doing like a textured paint coat on them that makes them look kind of like they're made out of clay. So I thought that for today's video I would be giving that a try, and I will also be linking down the videos that kind of inspired me to do this, because this isn't something I made up, like this has been going around and stuff, but I'll be linking down the videos that inspired me. So hopefully I'm able to do it right, because I know they take some paint, like any like acrylic paint, and then they add baking soda to it to create kind of like the textured look. And so I'm hoping that I get like the paint and the baking soda ratios kind of correct, because I don't want to mess it up, but we'll see. I mean, this is a learning experience. But this is the vase that, one of the vases that I'm going to be trying to paint today and giving it that like textured clay look. This one that I got at Goodwill like last weekend, and then some other vases that I already had around the house, and this one was is a flower vase that I just kind of kept. So I'll be painting this one. This one already kind of has like some ridges on it, so I'm hoping it looks cute after I'm done with it. And then this one I did get at Goodwill during the summer, and it's just kind of like a small little like vase that has, I don't know, it's just a clear vase. But I'll be doing these three vases today with that whole textured paint look. So hopefully they turn out how I'm picturing it in my head, but we'll see how they turn out. Alright, so first things first, let's talk about the shade color. So for this one I think I'm going to be painting it white, just because it's going to be going on my table downstairs, and that one is like a dark brown, so I want the vase to kind of stand out. And then this one right here, I'm probably going to be painting it kind of like a light beige color. And this one, I don't know where exactly I'm going to be putting it, but that's the color I'm going to be doing for this one. And for the bigger one, I might just be doing the same color as this one, like that same beige kind of light brown color. So hopefully, like I said a million times already, hopefully it turns out how I want it to, and they look cute, and I'm able to like put them out for decor and yeah. Alright, so first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and put some paper down on my desk so I don't paint my desk, because when I'm painting I get paint everywhere. So I'm trying to avoid that today, especially on this desk. So I'm going to be putting down some paper and then getting started with painting. Okay, so I have some paper plates that I'm going to be using to mix the paint and baking soda, and then I think I'm going to just start off with this purple cute little round vase. And I said I was going to go in with the white paint, and this is just like the samples that you can get at Lowe's, and it is acrylic paint. So I'm going to just mix it, and this is a blanched pine, which is kind of like a white color, if I can open this. So after struggling for a while and having my fiance open this for me, so this is the blanched white, and it's just a sample, so I'm going to just be pouring it right here. Hopefully it turns out. Alright, so I don't know exactly how much I'll be needing, but I'll do that much for now. See what I mean? I get paint everywhere. So I'm gonna wipe that there and take some baking soda, and I'm just kind of eyeballing it. I really have no idea how much I need. Just adding some more. I'm just gonna take like a little like cheap disposable brush that you can just get at Walmart or Dollar Tree, and using that to mix. So it looks kind of like it does make the paint thicker, and it looks a little like, I don't know how to describe it, like goopy. That's even a word. So I'm trying to get like all the baking soda in there, and I think I might add a tiny bit more. I really don't see a lot of texture in there. It's more like I just see it kind of getting thick. Is that how it's supposed to look? I'm not really sure, but I guess we'll find out. So I'm mixing. Alright, so I kind of see a little bit of like the baking soda like in there. So I think that should be good enough. And I do have like a big old like paintbrush, but I think that might be too much. So I'm gonna just grab a different one. So I'm gonna be using this brush, and this one I think I just got at Walmart, and I don't even know if it's the correct paintbrush to use with this, so I'm just gonna go for it and see how it turns out. So I'm just gonna dip it in there and hope for the best. I'm gonna be trying to paint like this so that you guys can see what I'm doing. And it kind of, I feel like I'm gonna need more than one coat just because the color is still, you can still see it through. But I can see a little bit of the texture now on there. I think as like the paint starts to dry, you'll be able to see more of the texture. So I'll be turning it around. It's kind of hard to paint like this, but I'll try my best. Okay, so this is how it looks after one coat. I'm gonna just move the paper. I can see the texture. I feel like I'm gonna need maybe at least 2 or 3 coats just so it can look more even and stuff, but I'm liking how the texture is looking on this. It actually looks like a little clay vase from afar. But yeah, I'm really liking how it turns out. So I'm gonna move on to the next vase, and I think I'm just gonna go with a small one. And I'm gonna do this one with light brown color, and I need to figure out where to set this. So for this vase, I'm gonna be doing a light brown color. I'm gonna be doing the same thing, adding the baking soda. I might add a little bit more baking soda than what I added in the first vase that I did, just to see how the texture changes. And first, I need to open up this can. And this is like, it doesn't say what color it is, it just says it's a custom color. Finally got it open. I'm gonna pour some in here. Hopefully not a lot comes out. Oh, that seems like a lot. Okay. So I'm gonna add a little bit more baking soda than what I did at the first time. Alright, so I added a little bit more and just covered the whole top of it. Hopefully it's a little bit thicker and has more texture. If not, then I'll just add more paint just to kind of, because like I'm mixing it, like some of the baking soda starts to fall off the sides, and trying to get everything in there. I'm gonna add a tiny bit more, and hopefully this one does the trick and just gives more texture, or adds more texture. Okay, I think that's the best it's gonna get. And I'm gonna be doing this small vase, and I'm gonna be using the same brush I used earlier, and start painting. So this one, the paint is a little bit thicker. I don't know if you can see that, it's like a tiny bit thicker. And start painting. And again, I'm gonna paint this way like that, you guys can see it better. I feel like this one's gonna be easier to paint just because it's see-through and I can kind of see what I'm doing from the other side. So I can see the texture already, and I feel like it has a little bit more than the first batch of paint that I did earlier on the other vase. But like I said, I think the other vase needs like 2 or 3 coats in order for it to look better and more even. And this one, I feel like just with 1 coat, it might be enough. Just because like I feel like the paint is a lot thicker, and obviously because the shade's a little bit darker, might just need 1 coat. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. I'm not gonna be doing the bottom of it just because that's where I'm putting it on the paper, and I don't want it to get stuck onto there. Try to lift it. So this is how it looks like just after 1 coat. It looks pretty much even, but I think there are some spots that I can kind of still see through, so I'm gonna wait till this dries and give it 1 more coat. But I can already see this one has a lot more texture than the first one, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna leave the inside like that and wait till I'm done painting the outside before I paint the inside. And on to the big one. And I'm gonna be using the same color for this big one and same brush and everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and paint this one, and then I will be right back once I'm done with the first coat. So this is what the vase looks like after one coat. I definitely need to do another one just because there are some spots that are kind of see-through. And again, I didn't paint the bottom because I don't know, I didn't want it to get stuck to the paper, but I'll probably end up doing that once everything over here is done. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this one off to the side and let it dry, and I'm gonna go check up on the first vase that we did and see if it's dry enough for a second coat, and I will be right back. Alright, so it's been a while and this vase is pretty dried up, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply the second coat. But first I wanted to show you guys how it looks with just one coat. It's still kind of patchy, as you can see, but the texture on it is like, it's actually pretty cool how it feels. It's like very like rough, and you can kind of see like every little grain of baking soda. I think it's, I don't know if it's a grain or not, but well, it doesn't really look like clay yet because it's very patchy. But I'm gonna just go ahead and do the second coat, and then I'll let it dry and see how it turns out. It might need a third one, I don't know yet. I guess I'll see how this one applies. So one thing I'm gonna try to do when now that I'm applying the second coat is just do very long brush strokes, just so like it won't look so patchy at the end, or so you won't see like just random brush strokes throughout the vase. So one thing I do recommend or suggest doing when you mix your paint is mixing enough paint that will last you at least that will be enough for at least 2 coats, just so you can have the same texture throughout versus doing little batches like how I did right now, because I don't know if the texture will be the same or if it'll be different. So I say maybe just mixing enough paint in the first go, in the first round, will be way better off, because then you'll have the same texture throughout. Okay, so this one is done, and I let it sit here for a bit just so it can kind of dry up a bit before I grab it. But I'm really loving how it turned out. It's like, it looks like it's a clay vase from afar, and the texture is just, it's pretty cool how like just adding baking soda to paint can like really change how like a vase looks. So on to the next, alright, so on to the next vase, and this is the one that I'm doing like a light brown beige color. And this one, I pretty much covered everything with one coat. There are some patchy spots which I'm gonna do a second coat on it right now, but this one is the one that I did add more baking soda to it. So just in the first coat you can see a lot of the texture on there, and from afar it does look like it's a clay vase. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add another coat. And this one, the paint was a lot thicker than the other vase, the paint I used on the other vase, the white paint. So I'm just gonna go ahead, add a second coat, and then I will show you guys once I'm done with it. And so this is how it looks. I almost forgot to show you guys, but this is how it looks with the second coat. It has a lot more texture, I'd say, than the first round vase. But I think it's good with just 2 coats. I'm gonna leave it like that and just let it dry, but this one looks pretty cool. Moving on with the big one. As I was grabbing this one, it just kind of reminded me that it almost looks like sand. Like the texture that it has, and then with this beige light brown color, it kind of reminds me of sand, which makes me miss the beach. Alright, so I'm gonna do another coat on this one, and then once I do the second coat, I will come back and then show you guys the end results. So this is what it looks like with the last coat. It kind of reminds me of sand now that I like see it, but it has a lot of texture as well, kind of like the other little brown vase. But yeah, this is how it's turning out. So I'm gonna let the vases dry, and then once they're dry, I will be back and I will show you guys how they turned out once they're all completely dry. So I'll see you guys in a bit. For me, it'll be like maybe a day, just so I can let them air dry completely. But yeah, I'll be right back, guys. Alright, so the vases are all done, and I am absolutely in love with how they turned out. They're so beautiful. I just don't know exactly where I'm gonna put them. I know one of them I did mention I was going to put them on one of my tables downstairs, but now I don't know exactly where, just because they're like so pretty. I might just have some in my room, maybe some right here in this room. I'm not exactly sure where, but either way I still wanted to show you guys how they look now, just because they're so pretty. Alright, so this is the white vase. This is how it looks. It does look really, you can see the texture. You can still see some of the brush strokes, which is why I tried to do like long even brush strokes when I was painting it. But other than that, like from afar you wouldn't even know this is a painted vase. Like you'd probably think this is a clay vase. The only thing I am gonna do, I'm gonna retouch the bottom, because like where I set it when it was still drying, the paper kind of got stuck to it. But other than that, like it looks really nice. I might, like I said, I think this one is gonna go downstairs on my table, but this is like my favorite one so far. I am absolutely in love with this. And the last ones I have right here were these two that I did kind of like a beige color. And on this one I still need to paint the inside of it, and same with this one. I think I might just paint kind of like part of the inside, not all of it, just what you can see. So same thing with these. I feel like if you look at them from afar, you wouldn't know they're glass vases. They kind of like, to me, they look like they're clay vases. I absolutely love how this like texture turned out. Like baking soda and paint is like, I think I'm gonna start using that from now on every time I paint vases, just because I love how they turned out. I don't know exactly where I'm gonna put these, but I'm sure I'll figure it out. But yeah, I'm just in love with how they turned out, and I also need to paint the bottom of these. But I don't know, I feel like it's such a super easy and cheap way to like give your vases a new look without spending so much money on brand new vases from like different websites. Because I know like maybe like Urban Outfitters or Anthropology or like, you know, those kind of websites, they tend to sell vases for like a lot. But I feel like just going to the thrift store and finding like cheap vases, sometimes they have some like on sale, and just painting them can make them look completely different, and you can make them fit your style. So I feel like doing this is like, it's fun and it's easy and it's cheap, so you get like the best of everything. And I'm probably gonna be, like I said, I'm probably gonna be doing it for more of my vases that I find at the thrift store, because if you haven't noticed, I love vases that have like cute little shapes like this. Sometimes the color they come in isn't always the prettiest, so painting them always kind of just makes me kind of style them better, and it matches my home decor that I have. So that was it for today's video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. This was something completely new. I hadn't tried this painting method with baking soda and just regular paint, and I really loved how it turned out. So hopefully I inspired you to go out or paint some of the vases you already have. I'd probably try it on like plant pots. If you have some, just try it out on that, or some vases that you already have. Now go to the thrift store. They have like really cheap vases and you can make them look really cute. Just style them and just put them somewhere and they will look adorable. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and before you leave, please don't forget to subscribe, and if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. And if you want to see more videos like this, or if you want to try this out, or if you have tried it out, comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!